the Dahl family been good of heart or not? Asked the gift man. The watchman scanned the parchment closely. His eyes narrowed as he looked down the parchment, and then he nodded. Aye, the Dahl family have been good of heart. They have earned their presents and the magical protection for the next year, the watchman said cheerily. Then he took out his phoenix quill from his bag, ticked them off as good of heart, and then placed both the quill and the parchment into his bag. The gift man smiled heartily, then placed the present sack beside the fireplace, and then they went over to the table to take their share of the pie, cookies, and wine between them. The gift man picked up the note, which read in bright green ink, Dear gift man and watchman, please accept these offerings of beef pie, chocolate chip cookies, and a bottle of vintage red grape wine as a token of our good thanks this Giftswatch. Love, Alan Dahl. The gift man smiled warmly. He was rather fond of beef pie. Then he placed the note into his cloak pocket and took out a knife to cut the pie in half. Both he and the watchman ate their halves of beef pie and 2 chocolate chip cookies, which was all homemade and tasted absolutely divine. Then they both drew their large tankards from their cloaks, and each took a pint of red grape wine. That, I must say, is definitely a very fine wine, the gift man said in a jolly voice, his beard becoming slightly drenched with wine. The watchman nodded his agreement, finished his pint of wine, and then they both made their way over to the present sack, and the watchman received the Giftswatch letter from the Dahl children. Right then, let's see now. The boys, Alan and Henry, have asked for an ice tires car set, a new black leather trench coat, a history of the Sorcerer Order, volumes 1 to 7, a new set of top hats, and the Daggers of Tartarus collection, the watchman said as he scanned the first half of the list. The gift man smiled and retrieved the presents for the Dahl boys from the sack. They were all different shapes and colours, but all had ribbons wrapped around them. The watchman then looked at what the Dahl daughters asked for. The Dahl daughters have asked for a new salon kit, a doll's house set, some new dresses, a guide to mythical beasts, and a new ring collection, the watchman told the gift man, who then pulled out the Dahl daughters' presents and placed them under the tree with the Dahl boys' presents under the Giftswatch bush. I meant to say under the Giftswatch bush. Sorry. In a symmetrical order, and even left a few presents for the Dahl parents. Then he picked up his staff, rolled back his sleeves, raised the staff, and then took a deep breath. Salvia Hexivale, Protego Shieldalo, Intrudo Prevento, the gift man uttered in a deep voice. The colour of his eyes flashed green, and there was a bright blue light emanating from the jewel on his staff, and then it spread across the cottage. This was the magical protection that would keep the Dahl family and their home safe for the next 12 months. Then the Giftman and the Watchman stepped back into the fireplace, snapped their fingers, and then they both floated back up the chimney and to the roof, where their carriage and phoenixes were waiting for them. The Giftman and the Watchman made it back up onto the rooftop, where they then climbed back into the carriage and took off from the rooftop. An hour later, the Giftman and Watchman visited every home in Willardstead, gave out presents and magical protection to those who were good of heart. But those who were bad of heart were given 6 months of bad luck, as well as magical catastrophes and one of their beloved possessions taken. All until they proved themselves to be pure of heart. As the carriage pulled by the 15 phoenixes flew above the village of Willardstead, the Giftman looked out over the village with the wind blowing around them. He called out to the sleeping peoples of Willardstead, "Happy Giftswatch to you all! May you all prove to be pure of heart, and thank you for the pies, cookies, wines, and rum," the Giftman called in a jolly voice that carried and rang out across the village of Willardstead. Then the Giftman and Watchman flew in their carriage to the rest of the peoples in Middle-world to give out gifts and magical protection to those who are good of heart, but bad luck and magical catastrophes to those who are not good of heart until they prove to be good of heart. The end, and a very happy Giftswatch. Well, I hope you all liked that, and I've got one more thing to show you. I tried to do some illustrations of this tale. I'll start first with this, the Giftman and the Watchman. There's the Giftman, and there's the Watchman. Next is, there's the carriage pulled by 15 giant phoenixes, and the village of Willardstead on Giftswatch. And of course, right here is, that's meant to be the Giftswatch bush, but I had to use an online art thing for this. And there's the Dahl family, home. And of course the wine, cookies and pie and notes left out for the Giftman and the Watchman. And another note from here, which is, for more stories from Middle-world, check out the tales of the greatest heroes throughout the worlds and ages. That's the book I'm working on. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed me reading this festive story. If so, and if you'd like to see the next one, and as well as more of my reading, please comment down below, and also don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel to help the page grow. See you all soon, and also a very happy Giftswatch.